Well, here we go. Oh, Friday night. Friday night is a lucky night this season for the New York Knicks. That's right. Third straight win in a row for the Knicks on a Friday night. That's right. The New York Knicks tonight proved many things. And I think, as it says down below, panic averted. I think the panic that was beginning to kind of like tickle at our bones for Knicks fans has actually been subsided tonight. Now, it's only one game, but it is indicative of the kind of team that this is, the kind of team that we hoped it would be. Taking care of the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I know it's the second game of a back-to-back for them, but they won last night. Bucks have been struggling. I mean, they have Dame Lillard and Giannis. I mean, phenomenal players. You know, if like in other years past, this could have been a loss for the Knicks, but not tonight. There were many, many stars tonight, beginning with Karl-Anthony Towns, but I'm going to get into all of that. We got highlights. I'm going to break this game down. Let's go. My name is George. If this is your first time here at Into the Knicks-Verse, please subscribe if you like this video. And also, like this video, hit the thumbs up button for me. And if you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We're so close to 9,000 subscribers right now, trying to get to 10,000 before the end of 2024. I think it's possible, just like I think it's possible for these New York Knicks to be the legit top 2 or 3 teams in the NBA right now. Now, I know it's hard to say and hard to fathom right now, especially when you consider how well the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing. But the Knicks were right there with the Cavs. This is, you know, and the Cavs ran it back. The Knicks have 40% new starters. You know, Bridges and Cat added to this team, and they have a depleted bench. They're back to 500 right now. They have 2 of their 4 losses are against the top 2 teams in the NBA, and the other 2 losses came on road trips, which were distressing. They lost to the Rockets after being just down 1 with just a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they lost recently to the Hawks, being down 5 with just 3 minutes left in the game. But tonight was a different story. Tonight, the New York Knicks came out with a passion, with a determination, and a defensive intensity led by the player of the game, which I know Cat will get all the interviews and all the love, and he deserves it. But the player of this game was OG Anunoby. That's right. His defense tonight on Giannis Antetokounmpo was unbelievable, was just outstanding. Giannis did end up with 24 points and 12 rebounds, but he was definitely hampered. He did not get to do what he wanted to do. This was the kind of night where Giannis could go off for 38. He was suppressed tonight, even though the stat line won't show it, but he was a minus 17 when he was on the court. So when he was on the court, the Knicks beat the Bucks' asses by a total of 17 points, and that's just in 32 minutes of play. So this is a good night for the Knicks. This should be a good night for the fans. This should be a good night for anyone who supports and loves New York Knicks basketball. Let's go! Here we go, 116-94. And that's the man right there. He is the player of this game. However, we look at the stat line. Look at this. Cat, 32 points, 11 rebounds on 12 of 20 shooting overall. And he shot 4 of 8 from the three-point line. He snapped off 3 three-pointers in a row early in this game. And I tweeted this out. Knicks win. We all thought it was going to be Brunson that would feast playing with Cat. But after 8 games, it's plain to see it's the other way around. This is Towns' 7th straight double-double game and 2nd in a row scoring over 30 points and 11-plus rebounds. Oh, and a week ago, he scored 44. Actually, it was more than a week ago. It was about a week and a half ago. Wait, was that a week ago? I think it was. 44. So he has 2 30-point games and a 44-point game in just the first 8 games of his career as a New York Knick. This guy is he is absolutely relishing in his role right now, and I love what the Knicks are doing. Just constantly, they finally are feeding him, which is why he has back-to-back 30-plus point games on a night. Well, I will get to this, but first I will get to this point here because Ian Begley tweeted this out, which I like this tweet. Doc Rivers on the New York Knicks right now. I know the Knicks coach, and I know that he's going to, get it all together. I'm sure of that. Tom's a phenomenal coach, and they made changes. They made changes to their core guys, and chemistry is an amazing thing. They had it last year, and they'll get it back. You just wake up. You don't just wake up and have it all. It takes time. It will come for them. I guarantee it. Beautiful. That's exactly how we should be feeling as fans. It's just going to take time. It's going to click in. This is going to be, honestly, I get what the Cavs are doing, and I understand the Celtics are current champions. But once this team has brought back some of the pieces, at least to flesh out the rotation, the key rotation, like Precious, you bring back Precious and, most likely Shamet. Though tonight we did see our first appearance of Matt Ryan, and I have his highlight of his one bucket. This is and then we get Mitch Robinson back. I do believe the New York Knicks will be the best team in the East. I do believe that. So this is the second part of what I started out before. Brunson is not having a good offensive game tonight versus the Dame Bucks. Could be the best thing to happen to the Knicks this season yet. If they win this game, because this was in the third quarter, after three quarters, New York Knicks lead the Milwaukee by 19 with 1 quarter to go. Well, they ended up totally destroying them. They won by 22 points. This team right now it is still trying to figure it out, but the fact that they could have a game like this against the Bucks, who are, the Bucks have contender aspirations. Now they're missing Middleton. Once they get him back, this could be a very different team. But for the Knicks to be able to do this against a team like that, that shows to me that this team is on another level right now, and they're just basically starting to figure it out. Like tonight, they figured it out, but will they carry it over the next game? We'll see. This is part of the consistency they're trying to build. Most Tom Thibodeau teams start off slow. We've seen it the last 3 seasons. They've started off slow and they ended up winning 47 games, 50 games. So this is, this is the kind of team that they are. And also they've revamped their starting unit, their core guys, as Doc was referring to. So we need to just first of all, enjoy this win. Enjoy this win. Enjoy all of these wins. But don't overstress about the losses at this moment. And tonight is the kind of game that just says, you know what? Take your finger off the panic button. Doesn't need to be there. Here are the stats. Let's get to the highlights before we go to the stats. But before we get to that, let's get to these. I want to show you this. The first half highlights right here. The first half stats. Karl-Anthony Towns scored 27 points in the first half and 7 rebounds, 3 assists, only 2 turnovers, and he committed. Though it was in the second half when he did an incredible behind the back. It wasn't quite a no-look pass, but it was almost a no-look pass to OG Anunoby, who put it in. It was awesome. Towns' passing is something I didn't realize how good. I knew he was a good passer, a decent passer. He's actually a very, very plus passer for his position, especially. And as you can see, Miles Bridges here plays 18, almost 19 minutes, struggles in the first half. 2 of 7, 0 for 4, only 4 points. Though he was a plus 13, picked up 2 rebounds. But I want you guys to look at the assists here. This is the first half stats. 19 assists for the Knicks in the first half alone. There have been games last season where the Knicks barely made it to 19 assists for an entire game. Yet tonight, 19 assists. And as a team, as a whole, tonight they had 35 assists. So this is the third game of the past 5 games, I believe, 5 or 6 games, where the Knicks have gotten 30 assists or more. That is fabulous. That means they're sharing the ball, they're trusting each other, they're looking for each other, and that is the key. That is how this team is going to end up dominating in this league, by sharing the ball and trusting each other and continually looking for the better shot, but also not passing up on a good shot. That's also very important. It's a balance. It's not easy. It's not easy. I know it's easy to say, oh, just keep passing the ball until you find a great shot. But sometimes the shot you have is a good shot, but the next pass will get you the great shot. However, the reverse is also true. Sometimes you have a good shot and the next pass you think is going to get you a great, it doesn't. It gets you a worse shot, and then you blow the whole, because of the shot clock, you kill the possession. So then they're trying to figure that out, and that just comes from playtime, spending time on the court, understanding each other's propensities, and this was the kind of game that showed us that this team is beginning to figure it out. Those 19 assists, 4 steals by the half, 4 steals. Bucks had 0. And the last thing I'm going to point out, the 26 rebounds for the Knicks. They were a +6 against a big team. Lopez and Giannis, those are big active rebounders right there. But the Knicks out-rebounded them. And the most beautiful stat here might actually be the 11 offensive rebounds in that first half right there. And the Knicks were a +19 going into the second half, and they were able to extend that lead even further. Beautiful game. Loved it. Got to shout out Tyler Kolek. Shout out Jericho Sims, had a nice first half. Look at Brunson. He was only 1 of 7, 0 for 4 from the 3-point line, 3 of 4 from the charity stripe, but he had 7 assists. That is gorgeous. And then he was able to recover in that second half, and Brunson finished 5 of 7 in his 14 minutes for 10 points. So he finished with 15 points total overall in the game. Right? Oh, wait, I switched. Yeah, 15 points overall for the game. He was a +28 and finished with 9 assists. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I know I said I was going to go, but I just had to show these beautiful stat lines, these beautiful breakouts between the first half and the second half. All right, let's get to the highlights now. Whew, man, this was a relief game. I got to tell you, because I know I could look. You watch NBA today. Kendrick Perkins, all these people, they're like, is it time to start being concerned about the Knicks? And they were all starting to say, yeah, it's time to be concerned with the Knicks. Well, guess what? There's no need to be concerned with the Knicks. This team is built to get better every single night. There, OG Anunoby, he was able to inflict his physicality in this game, got several dunks down low. Even though he did not have a good shooting night overall, he was able to use his physicality, and on the offensive end and on the defensive end, he was just, unbelievable. He was unbelievable. The team as a whole finished with, how many steals? 7 steals overall, and only committed 7 turnovers. So, not only did they take the ball away from their opponent, they also were really tight with protecting the ball themselves. They did not give the Bucks any real fast break opportunities in this game by coughing the ball up. They were very, very good at protecting the ball, and that's also a good sign, because that also lets me know it's indicative that they're beginning to understand each other, where they're going to be on the floor. A lot of times turnovers happen because guys aren't familiar with each other, and they pass the ball to a place on the floor. They expect the guy to be there, but he's not. But now the guy is there, or they're realizing the guy's not going to be there. I'm not going to throw the ball there. I'm going to do this. So now this team is beginning to feel more connected, and it's just the beginning. Just the beginning. I cannot wait to see what this team is going to be like mid-January. Like basically around how they were last season, around mid-January. They were the best team in the NBA at that point. So this is, Deuce had an excellent game for himself, 5 of 11 overall. A nice bounce back from 0 for 9 from the previous game. He finished with 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists, and he committed no turnovers. Brunson committed no turnovers. Josh Hart committed no turnovers. These are the guys that have been committing too many turnovers lately. So, and even Karl-Anthony Towns, who, a big guy, he does come. Oh, look at that. That was a great dunk. Was that the dunk? I think that was the dunk. Towns only committed 2 turnovers himself, and same with OG Anunoby. 5 Knicks had steals tonight, with OG with 3, leading the way with 3. Mikal Bridges had 1, Brunson had 1, and Jericho Sims had a steal, and Tyler Kolek was credited with a steal. Look at that. Look at this. Look at Towns just battling down low. He had 3 offensive rebounds for himself. He finished with 11 rebounds total and 5 assists. So when you look at the Knicks front court, Anunoby, well, the way they have it listed here, Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Towns, they accounted for 17 assists just themselves. And something else incredible happened in this game. Thibs went to the bench with 7 minutes left. There you go. Even he is evolving. Even he is understanding that things need to shift. You can't just keep going to the same approach every time. He's learning. And that is another very hopeful sign. All right, here we go. The Knicks closing the half. Oh, man. Towns was just, he was just beasting. This is against Giannis, who is an MVP. I think he's multiple MVP and a champion himself. And Towns is just destroying him. What's happened is Karl-Anthony Towns is now reaching his physical peak. He's faster than I've ever seen him. I think this is the fastest I've seen ever in his entire life. He even clanked knees at this point. He was grimacing for a while, but never asked out of the game. Oh, look at this. Look at that little shuffle pass. I love the delayed cut. Gorgeous. Here we go. Let's see. I think, Giannis scores here. But look, smart defense by OG. Don't commit the foul. Look, the guy got the first step on you. You weren't able to recover. Don't bail him out. Don't give him an additional opportunity to score a point. I love that. But let him know you're there. And Giannis had a good game, but he could have had a great game. Giannis could have had scored 30 or more like Cat did. But he did not, and mostly it was because of OG Anunoby. Let's see what we got here. We're in the third quarter. Look at the ball movement right there. Gorgeous. Mikal Bridges. All right, so I talked about his first half that wasn't so great. I know I showed the stat, but I didn't really focus on it. Here, in the second half, Mikal Bridges, in his 18 minutes of play, was 5 of 11. 3 of 7 from the three-point line. That's 43% from the three-point line. He scored 13 points in that half. He was a +8. Didn't get to the free throw line. That's one thing I'd like to see Mikal. And it's just his style of play, because he dribbles, he pops for the midi, or if he has a clean look all the way to the basket, he'll take it and dunk it. But he doesn't really do it through traffic that much. So it's just his style of play. He's not going to go to the free throw line that much unless he is just unconscious, unless his outside shot becomes just automatic, which is, there's hopes of that. The opponents might start fouling him on that shot. But in terms of actually, look at this. Nice. Yeah, baby. Oh, man. I just loved the way this game unfolded. I had a feeling the Knicks were going to take care of business. That loss against the Hawks just was too bitter, especially having a 5-point lead so late in the game, 3 minutes left, especially against Trae Young, who of course had to be a dick at the end, and talk shit to the Knicks fans. Meanwhile, just by the way, Trae Young, those Knicks fans are paying your fucking salary because they're buying fucking tickets to come and fucking watch. So you're a dick. Yes. And guess what? You're going to fucking not even be in the playoffs again this season. Fuck you, Trae Young. That's right. Hey, this is the Knicks-Verse. We keep it real here. And when the Knicks suck, I call them out. On that. Look at that. Beautiful right there. There it is, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, his first made shot as a New York Knick, Mr. Basketball in the state of New York. I think he's a great addition. I hope that once Landry Shamet is healthy, we're able to keep both of those guys because we need snipers. And Shamet is a little bit, at least he'll help run the offense a little bit sometimes. And his defense he's a plus defender. Where Matt Ryan, he's still trying to figure that part out of his game. But the guy is a bucket. The guy can shoot. And so can Shamet. So having those two guys on this team will really help. Because, as they say, Towns has difficulty guarding down low. It's just the reality of it. I think he has the worst field goal percentage for opponents as a big man right now, which is a little bit worrisome. However, when you consider how unstoppable he is on the offensive end right now, it kind of negates it. And so then you need the other guys to be efficient and to create turnovers, create opportunities, and to frustrate the opponent themselves and get them off their game, which is what this team did tonight. All right, enough highlights. Here we go. So here you can see Mikal Bridges started off slow, but ended up with 17 points himself. And I don't know, all 5 Knicks starters in double figures once again. I believe that's even the 5th or 6th game this year. Josh Hart, 4 or 5 overall in 33 minutes, 11 rebounds. 11 points, 9 rebounds for him. 32 points, 11 rebounds for Towns. Brunson he shot 6 of 14, not great overall. Didn't make a 3-pointer, but he had a nice second half. 10 points for him in the second half. Finished with 15 points, but beautiful 9 assists. The starters themselves accounted for 29 assists. That's just the starters alone in this game. Fabulous game for him. Let's keep going here. The plus minuses tell the whole story. That plus 21 was pretty much the average, as you can see, for players that played 25 minutes or more, because even Deuce was a plus 21. Deuce was fabulous this game. And I've mentioned I was worried about his defense tonight. It was totally on point. Here's the Bucks. Giannis, 24 points for him on 21 field goal attempts. Didn't make a 3. The starters only made 2 3-pointers. And they didn't really take that many. They only took 33 pointers as a team, and the majority of that came, or at least half of that, majority of that came from the bench. They have a guy, AJ Green, the white AJ Green. He had 25 minutes for him, 9 points on 3 of 6 3-point shooting. But the Bucks can only shoot 23.3% from the 3-point line, and that's one of the reasons they lost tonight. Here are the team stats. As you can see, the Knicks offensive the rebounding, they were a plus 7, 48-41. Offensive rebounding, they were a plus 3 there. And that disparity was even greater when it was the starters were still playing. Assists, 35 assists for the Knicks to just 20 for the Bucks. That is fabulous for them. 7 steals for them. And 3 block shots for the Knicks. So the Knicks were 10 in stocks, so they were finished a plus 4 in stocks themselves, and only committed 11 turnovers total. That's gorgeous. And only conceded 10 points off of those turnovers so they were a plus 11 in turnover points. Fast break, the Knicks were 19-8. That's a plus 11 right there. The points in the paint, the Bucks did win that battle. They were a plus 8 right there. But when the New York Knicks are creating so many more opportunities, 8 additional field goal attempts for the Knicks, which resulted in 7 additional made field goals. So they got 8 additional field goals over the Bucks and connected on 7 of them. That is fantastic. The Knicks never trailed in this game. They once led by 30. Fabulous. Love this. This is the kind of game we've been waiting for as fans of the Knicks fans. I think, this is part of the collage that is being built here. It's game 8. This represents a tremendously positive sign. Now, as we know, sometimes teams, in the beginning when they're trying to figure themselves out, do take a step back or two. We saw that on the road trip. They started off 2-0, and then they lost a couple of close games. that they probably should have won. They probably even should have beaten the Cavs. I mean, that's how I feel. This team could easily be 7-1 right now. They're 4-4, which I'll take it. I think this might be the beginning of a nice run for the Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to go on a little run right now. They're going to string together several wins and put themselves up in the upper echelon of the standings. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please follow me on Twitter. Please subscribe to this channel. Share this video. Hit the like button and drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything Knicks, anything I've said. Definitely helps me. I read all the comments. I read them all. And I really appreciate them. They help me tremendously. I look at you guys as my collaborators. So let's go. All right. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.